guys, back in the shop tonight. It's been a while. Been super busy up at the building, but we're making some good progress there. So hopefully this winter we'll be able to focus a little more out here in the shop on these cars. I am actually finally giving the Honda some love. You can see I've got things cleaned up here quite a bit. We actually got some room to get in there and work on it. So I didn't film it, but I did actually pull the oil pan off. So I already had a new oil pan gasket for it, but while it was off, I want to go ahead and weld a fitting for a turbo oil return. Not sure that I'm going to actually put the turbo on it right now. I really just want to get it back together and get it where I can drive it again instead of sitting on these jack stands like it's been for like 3 years. So I'm going to go ahead and put that oil fitting in, but probably not use it right away. So go ahead and follow along, like and subscribe, click that bell, and hopefully we'll have this thing up and ripping soon. Finally got the gasket off. It was a pain in the neck. So we got it thrown in the hot tank. It's going to run it for about an hour and it should come out pretty clean. Alright, looks like the hot tank's done. Let's open it up and see what we got. Show up on here, but came out pretty clean. Wiped a little extra off of it. A little dent right here. Some scrapage, a little bit of rust, but overall it's in pretty good shape. We're going to weld our bung for the turbo oil return right there where that scratch is, kind of in this area. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So what I did is took just a 1/2-inch pipe coupling, threaded a nipple in it for a handle, and cut it off with the bandsaw. So I'm going to put the handle piece in this part now, thread it on there, run the edge that I cut on the belt sander, and then go sandblast it, and then we're going to TIG weld it onto our oil pan right over here. That'll give us a spot to screw in our 10AN return line fitting. Sandblasted that half that we're going to use. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but it makes it a whole different color. Just blasts all that black off of it and takes all the oil and everything off with it, of course, because it's a dry media that we're blasting with. So makes things TIG weld a lot nicer if you go ahead and sandblast it first. So what I'm going to do is kind of find a placement for it on the pan, figure out where it needs to be, so I leave myself room to get in there and weld the side closest to the flange. Want to keep it as high up as possible, but of course we have to be able to weld it. So figure that out. Go ahead and put a dimple in it with this punch so that we'll know where to locate it, and then I'll use this angle grinder just to buzz the paint off of there, and then we'll get to welding. Cleaned up. I'm actually going to run over and sandblast it real quick, and then it should weld a lot better. Nobody will ever see it, I guess, other than on this video, so whatever. Got it done anyway. I'm going to take it home, and I'll drill that hole out in the metal, clean it up a little with the die grinder, get some paint on it, and we'll be ready to throw it back on the engine. Alright guys, so I got the oil pan done. As you saw, I welded it up. Not very happy with how it turned out, but it's not going to leak, so we should be good to go. Get it in the light here. I started TIG welding it, as you can see along here, and it wasn't bad at first, but then it started getting a bunch of impurities in it and just not wanting to weld very well. I think what was actually happening was it was pulling through to the inside here, and the inside of this pan's actually painted as well, so I think it was pulling some of that paint through the metal into the weld, and just wouldn't weld very well. So I went ahead and just finished it up with the MIG welder. Like I said, it's not pretty, but it will work, and I don't think it'll leak, so should be good to go. The only thing we got left to do, I just need to drill through here, clean this all up, probably give it a coat of paint. Then we're going to clean up this edge. You can see there's just a little bit of gasket material left. extra where the weld came through on the inside ground off. Got the hole opened up to the same as the fitting. We should be good to go there, so we'll clean the outside up a little with a wire brush, shoot some paint on it, and get us a plug in there, and we'll be ready to throw this thing back on the car. You always want to wrap that tape where it flaps over against the way you'll be tightening it, or else when you go to tighten it in, it'll just unravel the tape. So you need to wrap it around the opposite way. Alright, and that'll just keep the hole plugged off until we get to the point that we are ready to put a turbo on it. And we'll just take that plug out and put a 10 AM fitting in it for the drain, and we'll be good to go. Alright, I got that oil pan ready to go. Just threw a little paint on it. I thought I had gloss paint, but it looks like it's flat, but oh well. Just keep it from rusting. So I'm really debating. I really want to just pull this engine out. Like, it's so close to being out anyway. All I'd really have to do is like fuel line, wiring harness, power steering, alternator, and a couple more motor mounts, 2 motor mounts, and I could pull it out. And then I'd be able to do timing belt, water pump, all of that on the engine stand. Oil pan, clean up all this crap on the block. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but the VTEC solenoid or something, cam seal or something here's been leaking for a long time, and there's a bunch of crud on the block running down through there, so I'd really like to get that all cleaned up. So, debating. In the meantime, I have a new rear main seal for it down there, and we also have a new clutch and flywheel, so we're gonna put those on while we have while we're waiting on the oil pan to dry. I'm also gonna take off the VTEC solenoid and the distributor. I actually broke one of these bolts that holds the distributor cap on. I broke the bottom one somehow a long time ago, so I figured I'd go ahead and take that off and drill that out and get it out of there while I'm doing all this other work. A few other little things. I want to remove the coolant that flows through the throttle body, get rid of that, bypass it. I'd really like to go ahead and take the charcoal canister and all of that stuff out of it too, which I guess if I go to an OBD1 ECU eventually when I turbo it, then yeah, it'd be no big deal. But for now, with the OBD2 ECU, it's still going to want to throw a check engine light if all that stuff's not there. So probably just go ahead and leave it for now. Again, I've had this thing down long enough that I'm just ready to kind of get it up and running, and we'll worry about doing things we want to do to it later. There's our VTEC solenoid. So I need to find a new gasket for this. It's just a little rubber push-in-place gasket. It's hard to say for sure, but it's at least a possible place where the oil's been coming from up here. Looks like maybe the valve cover gasket, maybe the cam seal, maybe this, maybe the distributor. Just several things right in that area that it could be, but either way we're going to get this cleaned up and get a new gasket for it. It also has a screen in there that traps any material so it doesn't get into that solenoid, that valve. I don't think this thing was really leaking. It just, if you already got your transmission out and your clutch and flywheel off, you might as well go ahead and put one in because they're not expensive. And it's a lot of work to get back to it. I'll try to use the old seal to tap in the new one here. There, which I'm not crazy about.
Talk to me, Jesse. This ain't working, brother.
Alright guys, so I've had this for a long time, but I've not actually shown it yet, so here is the official unboxing of some of our parts for our Civic. So what we have here is the new XTD clutch. I forget what I even ordered now. I think it's like a stage 2, something like that. Not sure. Got a new pilot bearing, alignment tool, new throwout bearing. Got the clutch disc itself. Pressure plate. And then last but not least, we also got a lightened flywheel, which I forget what it was, 10 pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. Considerably lighter than the stock one, you can tell that just by feeling it, but that should give us some quicker revs and less rotating mass, which doesn't technically give it more horsepower, but you end up with more to the wheels or more effect of it. It just revs a lot quicker just because you don't have so much mass to spin up. So hopefully that'll help us rev quick. So yeah, that's the next thing. We're going to go ahead and start getting this stuff on. Hey, what's up guys? I'm sitting here editing this video and realized that I didn't film an outro for it. I'm in a situation right now where I have tons of content already filmed. Sometimes I'm working on multiple videos in the same day, and it's been a little bit of a challenge to keep everything straight, keep everything organized. So somewhere in the shuffle, I didn't film an outro for this, but just wanted to put something in real quick and just say I appreciate those of you that have watched and liked and commented. Please subscribe. That means a lot to me. And follow along. We've got more stuff coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.